إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. The month of Ramadan is still on our minds. It came and it went, and it's been a few extra days since then. And the question for myself, and it's a reminder for myself first, is have we given Ramadan its right? Have we given Ramadan its right? For that we have to go back to the verse that is mentioned all the time, and that explains the purpose of Ramadan. And that is, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. We all know this verse, but it's about being reminded. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed upon you as it was prescribed on those before you, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that perhaps you may become pious, so that you may gain taqwa. So this was the point, the whole point of the month of Ramadan. It wasn't just to stay away from the food and the drink, we've done that. But did we become better people? That was the whole point of Ramadan. Have we become better since when Ramadan started? Has our level increased post-Ramadan, or are we back at the level or even worse than before Ramadan? And if we are back at the same level, though we've not really done Ramadan justice. Because the whole point was to come out of Ramadan being better people by staying away from more of the sins we were doing before Ramadan, and also doing better in doing good acts than we were doing before the month of Ramadan. And we might feel already our iman is dipping, is going down. We've not been to the masjid as frequently as we were in Ramadan. We have not been reading the Quran as much as we were in the month of Ramadan, and we might be feeling a bit of depression that what's going on? How come I can't keep that level up? Well, to be honest, keeping that level that we had in Ramadan is near impossible. So don't worry about not being at the same level of, within 3 juz a day, 2 juz a day. Do you think you can keep that up after the month of Ramadan? Highly unlikely. Because in the month of Ramadan, it's a month of blessings. The shayateen are locked up. It's much easier doing good deeds. Everybody knows that. So don't have that expectation that you must compete at that same level and be depressed otherwise. No. But when that level does come down, make sure it doesn't come down all the way to pre-Ramadan. That's the message. So if we were doing sins before Ramadan, let's make sure we are keeping away from those sins, or we have a certain degree of resistance higher than it was before Ramadan. Even that is an improvement. Our threshold level, if it's increased, that the sin we were doing, they were like here, now we are slightly there, we are not doing those sins that we were doing before, our threshold has increased. That was the point of Ramadan. And if we find ourselves in a situation that we are like that, then it's a good sign. Because this was the point of the month of Ramadan. Keep something alive, keep it alive. Otherwise we risk falling into the description that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives, and I mention this verse every year as well. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّتِي نَقَضَتْ غَزْلَهَا مِن بَعْدِ قُوَّةٍ أَنْكَاثًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, don't be like her who spins a thread. She spins a thread strong, but she basically picks it away. So don't be like the woman who picks away the thread that she had done strong. So how they used to spin the yarn, the thread in the old times, they used to spin it and it became a strong piece of thread. right? We've been told, don't now, after you've made this nice strong thread, don't start breaking it and plucking it away. If we've got some good habits that we've started reading our salah 5 times a day, don't turn back now and say, okay, I'm back down to 3 salahs or 2 salahs in a day. Keep that fight. And by the way, salah is the most basic pillar after belief. If we are not establishing our 5 salah, then really our Ramadan, I don't know what happened in there. The scholars also explain, people ask, how do I know my Ramadan was accepted? And the scholars, they give the same answer that they give when somebody asked them, how do I know my Hajj was accepted? What do they say? They say, if your life after your Hajj is better than your life before, that's a good indication that your Hajj got accepted. And the same goes for the month of Ramadan. If we want to know if our month of Ramadan got accepted, look at our life. Is it better than it was before? Are we that bit more patient before we have an argument? Are we that bit more aware that backbiting is going on? Are we that bit more aware that this is haram, that's what's happening in front of me? Now, a woman's walk past, for example, I have to be extra careful before even higher than I was before the month of Ramadan. If that is happening, then alhamdulillah, we can hope that something, got accepted. So we want to make sure we don't break away at the things that we had, made in the month of Ramadan. So for example, one of the excellent examples is the masajid. Look at the masajid now compared to in Ramadan and you see the difference. But alhamdulillah, coming to this masjid, I've seen there are more people coming now than there were before Ramadan. And that's just my observation, I might be wrong, but that's what I sort of see when I come here, which is a good thing. But what I want to ask yourselves, are you part of those people who have started filling up the masjids, or are you from those people who have left the masjid and not been back since Eid? And the good thing is, it's only 3-4 days away. If we found we've dipped, we can always quickly, our bodies are still used to it. Our bodies are still in the rhythm. It's not being like a month down the road. We're still in the routine. If we find we've dipped, let's just a few more little steps back up to that similar level. Let's try doing that. Let's not let this month, this month of Shawwal go and we were at the completely same level as we were before the month of Ramadan. And the other thing is the Quran. Ramadan was the month of the Quran, and in the Quran is our guidance. In the Quran is our guidance. We want to be guided. Hudan lil muttaqeen. It's a guidance for the muttaqeen. It's a guidance for us. So do we abandon it now and just leave it to our pre-Ramadan level, which was maybe once a week or once a month we open the Quran and have a read? Or are we doing it more regularly now? And this is something, even if we have dipped, this is something we can quickly get back up. The Ramadan is still maybe on that table or still on that shelf, which was really easily accessible. If we were doing it every day, it's maybe still there. Just pick it up and just keep that connection with it. Whether it is reading a verse a day, whether it's reading a few verses, whether it's having a plan that yes, I'm going to do half a juz, I'm going to do half a page, and I'm going to look at some translation, I'm going to do a bit of tadabbur, I'm going to do something, me, myself included. We need to have some connection with the Quran. And I mentioned this hadith again and again. اقرأوا القرآن فإنه يأتي يوم القيامة شفيعا لأصحابه. Read the Quran, because it's going to come on the Day of Judgment as an intercessor for who? لأصحابه. For its ashab. What is ashab? Sahaba. What is a Sahaba? Sahaba is a companion of the Prophet ﷺ. So it's going to come as an intercessor for its companion. Now how can we make the Quran our companion if we only open it once a month? How can it be our companion, close companion? So if we open it every day, every other day, and we keep it regular, even if it's small but we keep it regular, then we hope to be from those who are included as the companions of the Quran. And as a result, on the Day of Judgment, the Quran comes for our aid. And basically says, this person used to recite me all the time, this person used to act upon me, tried to ponder over me all the time. If we've got one life, we might as well keep that connection with the Quran. And this was the month to begin it. Let's just continue it. You know why? Because which one is harder to do? Start a heavy ball rolling or keep it rolling? The hardest thing to do is to start moving the heavy ball. For those who know about cars, first gear is the more powerful gear. Fifth gear just keeps the car rolling. So if we've already kept this ball rolling, then if it stops, what we're going to do? Wait till next Ramadan and start again. Let's keep this ball rolling. Let's just keep something going. Let's keep the effects of Ramadan going. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to continue our post-Ramadan life better than our pre-Ramadan life. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has built into Islam, and one of the benefits it has is it allows us to continue the spirit of Ramadan, and that is, we all know, it's the 6 days of fasting in Shawwal. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man sama Ramadana thumma atba'ahu sittan min Shawwalin kana ka siyamid dahr." Or kama qala. Whoever fasts the month of Ramadan and then he follows it up with 6 fasts in the month of Shawwal, he gets a reward as though he fasted for a lifetime. Meaning he gets the reward of fasting for the whole year. So you fasted in the month of Ramadan, and then you fast any 6 days from this month of Shawwal, you'll get the reward of fasting all year. And then you do it next year, all year, next year, all year. You've been fasting all your life. Imagine on the Day of Judgment, when the people who fasted perpetually all the time are raised up, and you're one of them. And you think, well, how did I didn't fast all the time. How did I get such a beautiful reward? Well, then, and just imagine you're reminded that you used to fast the 6 days of Shawwal every year, and you got recorded as though you're fasting all your life. Such a simple thing with such massive reward. And what do we learn from these fasts? We learn from these fasts, don't turn off. Don't turn off completely. Still keep your fasts. Still keep some fasts going. It helps us keep the spirit of Ramadan still alive. So I encourage everybody, to fast these 6 days of the month of Shawwal. If you have any fast to make up from Ramadan, then make them up first, and then fast the 6 days of Shawwal. And we have to remember, it's mentioned in the hadith, I'll give you the rough meaning, that a person gets closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by doing those obligatory acts. So the dhuhr, the fajr, the salah, the fasting in Ramadan, the zakat, the hajj, for example, being good to parents, doing the obligatory actions. But then the hadith mentions a person continues to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by doing the voluntary acts. It's like a glass ceiling with obligatory acts. You want to get further, then we need to start doing the sunnah, the nawafil, as much as we can. And not have that attitude that, it's only sunnah, it doesn't matter. No. The Sahaba were opposite. It's sunnah, I've got to do it. Right? Yeah, I'm not saying you're not going to be able to do all the sunnahs, but as much as you can. This 6 days is quite easy for people. And also, there's another hadith that on the Day of Judgment, the first thing that will be judged is the salah. And if it is perfect, it will be recorded as perfect. But if it is deficient, if the concentration wasn't there, if there were problems in there, then what will happen? The nawafil salah will be looked at. Did he have any sunnahs? Did he have any taraweeh? Did he have any tahajjud? Did he have any ishraq? Did he have any other, nawafil, just general nawafil? If he had them, then those nawafil will be used to fill the gaps in his fard. And then the hadith says, and his actions, all his actions will be judged in a similar manner. So we have our fasts in the month of Ramadan. How do we know we got 100%? How do we know we got 20% or even 30%? Anything. How do we know? So we hope with these 6 fasts, they contribute towards our obligatory fasts. So I like everybody to, try this sunnah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all our ibadat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all our sajdas and salah and everything we did in Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us for all our shortcomings, and we have too many shortcomings. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون وأقم الصلاة.